Back, everyone. I have had a wonderful little holiday off to the US of A. I haven't been across the border, well, long before COVID. Hmm, number of years. But it's great to be back. And it is Coach Sandra Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk diving back in. I've been taking this course. I think you might have recalled if I mentioned it. It's very intensive, but it's intensive not in the knowledge, but in the emotional stuff of picking up that phone, contacting my niche market. Oh my goodness. Have you ever had a phone? Now see, I've got this phone, the oldie. It's not even the oldest one I was on. I was on the old box on the wall. Yes, crank, crank, crank. And the new one, of course. And it doesn't matter, even though this is nice and light, it can be very heavy when I'm phoning. And I got thinking about, what is it? Have you noticed when the phone gets very heavy for you? Then we have to stop and think, okay, why am I calling? I so remember when my son had to call and tell us the news of his cancer. Boy, that phone was heavy. It was heavy for him to pick up and tell his mother and then his father that he wasn't going to be around. Boy, the phone was heavy. And you know what? It was equally heavy. Well, I don't know if it's equally. I don't know how heavy the phone was for my son, but I know how heavy it was for me to be hearing this news. It was very different from the phone call when he picked up the phone and said, "Hey, Mom, I've fallen in love. Candace and I are getting married." Yes, and the phone was so light, and then it was so heavy. So we always have to look at, why are phones heavy or joyous? Heavy or joyous? Well, we have to think about, why are we calling? For me, trying to find my way through this marketing world, here I'm making a big deal of it, but it's a big deal for me. I don't manage to get around digitally very well in terms of marketing. So everything I think of to do, I think, oh, that phone is so heavy. That call is so heavy. Then I have to peel back and say, well, what are the emotions? Scared. Here I am putting myself out in the world again in a new career, not something I haven't done I've done it all for decades. So it's not new work, but to be launching myself and telling the world, I am now a coach, the compassionate queen of straight talk, life coach, getting to clarity and getting control of your own positive mindset to stop sabotaging yourself. That's what I do, so you can get free and move. So what are all the emotions that are arising? Thinking, oh, Sandra, here you go again, another new world for you. That's exciting and scary all in one. And when people say, well, where's your certificate? I say 40 years of financial. I've talked to a lot of people over many, many decades about very private, sensitive conversations and communications. 30 years Toastmaster. I've been Toastmastering and mentoring and coaching for decades, for all my life, really. And so I have to come back with, what are the emotions that are arising? Why do I delay in picking up that phone or connecting? It's because I realize now, as I've been reflecting this morning, because I'm asking for something. I've never been really strong in asking. I always just stayed in here. I wanted people to read my mind. And if I'm good enough, then they're going to be good. And if I do for them, they're going to do for me. And yes, there is that reciprocal approach, the give and the take of life. Yes, it's there. But my throat chokes up when I'm asking for something. So now I have to think, why does that matter? What is the problem with asking? They can say no. I'm not going to die from it. This whole circus is the voices in my own head sabotaging my going forward. I think they maybe do it to you too. Have you ever had to pick up a phone with a heavy message? Or have you ever wanted to, oh, I can't wait to phone them with a joyous message and feel that difference? And when you're asking, are you asking mom and dad for a loan? Are you asking somebody to come and be with you because you're in such a depression? Oh, that phone gets so heavy. Until we find the way to switch that phone call into a phone call of joy all the time. Well, I know sometimes it's going to just be heavy. And yet, knowing that we're connecting with somebody for a deep purpose, even if it is an illness, for my son to call, to know that I can say, I'll be okay. Don't worry about me. Let's worry about you, right? So being able to know that the person on the other end of the line is going to be there. We're going to use the phone as the tool it's designed to be, in the joy and in the emotional heavies. So I'm going to choose today, now that I've had my talk with you, I'm going to celebrate and make my offering to those people that can use some of the clarity and straight talk that I bring to the world. What do you think? Give me some comments. Please, please, please give me some comments. And if you know anyone who would really be feeling so much better to be able to move into that positive mindset, please connect us. Let us know. It's Coach Sandra, Compassionate Queen of Straight Talk. Looking forward to your comments and helping anyone who's just struggling to find their way so that life is balanced out. All that wonderful success is balanced out, even at home, in the same joy. You can do it. You know it. I can help. Have a wonderful evening.